All right, so I was thinking this is what we're doing, right?
Okay, so I mean it's great.
Okay.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that,
Okay.
right? And then up, boom,
What's this called?
horns down.
Happy Monday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show presented by Neutral. Keep it tasty, Tempe. Coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by my passenger princess right here. That is, of course, Erik Ruby. We have the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen today. We got Jason in here, short bus. I'm sure some Arizona State and Texas fans are going to be joining us shortly. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're listening on audio, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Erik, we are now 9 days away from Arizona State kicking off against the Texas Longhorns in the college football playoff quarterfinals.
Wow. It's getting more and more real as we get closer.
Yeah.
The break has been so long. It feels longer than it has been. I was talking with some people. I'm like, man, it feels like the Big 12 championship was like at least 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Really, it was what, 2 weeks?
It hasn't even been a full month since they beat Arizona.
I know. It's been 24 days.
That's insane.
Since they beat Arizona in the final game of the regular season. But I think it's just because A, so much has happened, but B, like, we have been looking at this date. We have been looking at January 1st with so much anticipation for so long now. And honestly, we're a school, we're a team, we're a fan base that's like itching to prove themselves. Like, you've seen other college football playoff like games end up in blowouts, right? SMU blown out, Clemson blown out, Indiana blown out. Shockingly, Tennessee as
blown
well.
out, yeah.
Right. But and so now we're
Eat
sitting
your heart
here,
out, Lane Kiffin.
Now we're sitting here and we're like, all right, it's our turn to buck the trend. It's our turn to do something different. And quite frankly, a lot of people do not believe that that's going to happen. So the anticipation keeps building with a lot to prove.
Absolutely. And of course, we are the one-stop shop going through it all just about every single day. We've got sound from Texas coach Steve Sarkisian. We've got sound, of course, from Arizona State coach Kenny Dillingham, who has been doing a media circus today in the last couple of days. He met with local media, has been doing stuff with ESPN this morning. He had the Peach Bowl availability with Steve Sark. So we'll get into all of that as the show kind of goes on. But one thing that I do want to start off talking about as it relates specifically to Arizona State is those incoming transfers that the Sun Devils have been able to start snagging over the last couple of days, starting with the one they got this morning. This is a Washington State safety, Adrian Wilson, committed to the Sun Devils just this morning. A really interesting get here because Adrian Wilson was a true freshman last year. He's a big, big safety, 6'1", listed at about 206, 205 pounds. So being able to get him in here, he played for Washington State last season as a true freshman, 37 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, a couple pass breakups as well. Being able to add him in this secondary next season, I think, is going to be pretty big, considering this is a team in Arizona State that is going to be losing some guys, right? You lose a guy in Kamari Wilson to the transfer portal, Shamari Simmons over at nickel. He is probably not going to be here anymore. We're still kind of waiting on the whole JUCO rules situation to kind of unfold here over the next few weeks, maybe a few months. And then, of course, Cole Martin, a nickel DB, also entering the transfer portal. So being able to shore up the back end of this defense, I think, is going to be huge. And you get a guy in Adrian Wilson who played at Washington State, right? Brian Ward was a DC at Washington State. No crossover, I don't believe, there, just in terms of recruitment. You have A.J. Cooper, the linebacker coach. He was at Washington State as well, on top of the fact that you already brought in a DB from Wazoo last year in Javen Robinson. And
I think that's the big one.
He's been
here.
huge.
And that's the big one, is that you've seen Javen especially go from like a system that he was so familiar with. I played some of his sound from when he first committed to come here about a year ago, last week. And he was talking about how much he was excited to play in Brian Ward's defensive system. Right, how appealing that is. And I don't think that was any small part as to why Adrian Wilson is here. And, we can only have one Adrian Wilson. That's why the other Adrian Wilson left and went to Colorado. Yeah. Now we have another Adrian Wilson.
There you go.
Coming in. Zachary says, does he play like former Cardinal Adrian Wilson? If so, it's a great grab. I don't know if we're going to put him on that level yet, but I'm definitely excited to get some reinforcements. But it's not like that room is going to be barren, right? Like, they're not losing everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's Short Bus bringing it up. Keith Abney had just announced literally 5 minutes ago that he is going to be returning next season. That is massive. I mean, me and the Deli Man, we talked to Keith when he first committed to Arizona State some time ago, and he has been a player that has just been marvelous to watch his growth over the last couple of seasons. He's been a true number one corner this year, so to be able to get him to come back it's going to be huge, I think, for this program moving forward and realistically this defense.
And we're talking about this defense here, and going into this season, we were mentioning the level that it felt like they were operating on, as far as, hey, like, this group, they're communicating, they're playing, like they've been together for a while, but they hadn't, right? There was a ton of transfers, a ton of new players in it, and the whole system that you're learning, right? Now you're going into this next season, as we still continue this one, right? And you look at so many key defensive players coming back.
Yeah.
And you're starting to think to yourself, well, with the summer of, improvement under the strength and conditioning staff, and of course with this coaching staff who's going to continue to evolve and advance, the chemistry and playing defense is all about knowing what everybody next to you is going to be doing and their strengths and their weaknesses, and communicating without really having to communicate, and just instincts. That's all going to get better when you continue to add to the list, as it continues to grow, of defensive players alone who are coming back to Tempe next year.
Yeah, and I do want to flip it to the other side of the ball, just getting back on in terms of transfers. We'll talk about some of those guys coming back here in a second, but another big transfer get over the weekend, Kentucky tight end Kamari Anderson, SEC caliber, right? A big dude, 6'5", 250 pounds. Now, again, only 5 catches, 29 yards last season, or this past season. This kid is still only 19 years old. Still only 19. To be able to get him in this tight end room, you're losing Marcuston Douglas, who is committed to Florida State out of transfer portal. He's still practicing with the team. But to be able to get Kamari in here, you're going to have Shimon Mateer back next season, who he's already announced that he's coming back. AJ Ia, a 4-star tight end.
Jaydon
Fortier. And then I'm sure a number of guys still in that tight end room. So the size of this room is going to be really, really key. And when you have a guy that played in the SEC at 6'5", 250 pounds, like, being able to have him as a true blocking tight end. Now, I think they're going to experiment probably with him, in the passing game as well, which I think will be fun. But being able to have another kind of anchor to your offensive line, the way that, like, a Cameron Harpool
I'm about to say that was so important for them this year.
Being able to do that with your ground game is only going to make, some of the other additions, like a Kanye Udao, just so much more important.
And what's interesting is kind of, continuing to look ahead as we are entering this matchup against Texas. One of the big lines that Texas fans are saying is, you just don't have the size.
Yeah.
You don't have the size to match up with these types of defensive linemen, with these types of, edge rushers, right? Or these linemen on both sides of the ball. And he might not have the greatest stat line in the world, but he's got the body. He's got everything like that. And so it would be not far-fetched to find a really great way for Kenny and crew to utilize him. Even at the end of the day, he doesn't have an insane stat line. Like, Cameron Harpool definitely made a massive impact on the team this year. But, I mean, nobody's really going to talk about him because it wasn't like Shimon in the passing game.
No, absolutely not. And look, we touched on it a little bit earlier, just being able to get back a couple of these guys. Keith Abney, he just announced, but you've had a number of guys over the weekend announce that they'll be back next season. And I want to talk about one of the more intriguing ones at running back, Kyson Brown, right? Kyson Brown returning to Arizona State, I think is especially interesting given the fact that you just added Kanye Udau, Army running back from the transfer portal.
We kind of thought Kyson was gone, right? And honestly, in the modern, I keep on saying the modern landscape of college athletics, it wouldn't have been shocking. No. In fact, I would have been like, you know what, dude, I totally understand. It kind of felt like you were RB1 and waiting after Cam Skattebo. You were going to take that next step up. You had a good season, right, when your name was called upon. And now you get Kanye Udau, and it's like, okay, well, you're not running back one anymore, but it's still at the point though where he's going to get run, and Udau's not Skattebo, right? And so I think Kyson's role will still elevate.
He's Kanye. That's who he is. He's Ye.
We have Kyson and Kanye in the backfield. Ugh. That's pretty nasty. But the thing with Kyson is not just on the field, but off the field. Barrett honors, like one of the highest GPAs on the team, one of the all around, one of the best dudes that you can have out there on the team, and somebody that they want to represent Arizona State football. And I think having him in Sean Aguano's room is a really good tone setter, especially as far as, hey, nothing is given, right? Listen, Udau, you can come in here and a lot of us would presume you're running back one. You are going to have to earn it over Kyson Brown, who has been continually trying to earn it for this next season, for this past one. So I find this really, really interesting and just a massive win for Arizona State to keep Kyson around.
No, 100%. And I know there's a bunch of people talking about the matchup between Arizona State and Texas. We are going to get into that in just a little bit. But again, kind of continuing with the trend of guys coming back. Sean Na on the offensive line. This is a guy that, last year, it was awesome to see him get some run as a true freshman. Especially with, how just unfortunate last season was for this team. He's probably a projected starter, I would imagine, along the offensive line somewhere. Interested to see if they kick him at center because you're losing Leaf Fautanu, or if you move him maybe at one of the guard spots. You also bring back Jordan Crook, a linebacker. He transferred in from Arkansas last season. He's been really nice in the rotation with Cyrus Fiaseu and Keyshawn Elliott. Malik McClain at wide receiver. That's huge. You're going to be getting him back. And then, of course, CJ Fight along the defensive line. Didn't expect him to go anywhere anyways. But to be able to keep CJ Fight here, truly a kid who loves being an Arizona State Sun Devil, that is just maybe the biggest retainment that you're having on the defense.
You guys are doing it again, by the way.
What are we doing?
You're taking a name that's commonly pronounced one way and pronouncing it completely different.
Who?
It's Udo.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I was just going off of him.
I'm going to continue to say Udo.
He's a bad influence.
Nobody has ever pronounced Udo.
I have heard it. I've heard it on a broadcast that it was Udo.
I just checked.
Well, I'm gonna double check afterwards.
I listened to. Okay.
I appreciate you, Deli Man. Yeah. I really do. And if you're right, then I will hand up 100% and say
I would just be shocked if I wasn't.
We have a bad track record.
Yeah. Do we?
Yes.
Yeah. Nah. We're chilling. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. James E in the chat. That's hilarious. If you think you're gonna out-athlete Texas swinging gate. Not sure that makes a ton of sense, but what that tells me is...
somebody's talking about can Texas handle the swinging gate?
Can Texas handle the swinging gate? Maybe not. You never know. UCLA certainly couldn't have. But we will get into sound from Kenny Dillingham and Texas coach Steve Sarkisian on the other side of this quick break.
PHNX is proud to have Sanderson Ford as our official vehicle partner, and they are thankful to have lived and prospered for the past 70 years in Glendale, Arizona. Of course, they're thankful to their 500 employees who take care of you, their customers, making Sanderson Ford America's most awarded Ford dealership. That is not a small deal, and neither is their facility. 65 acres makes it the largest Ford dealership in the nation, and when you add up all the sales, including retail and fleet, they sell more Fords than anyone in the nation. Are you picking up on a theme here, Anthony Totri?
They're really good at what they do.
They're really good. In fact, they're the best at what they do. They are here to put you in the right car at the right price, in the right way. No pressure, no hassle, no nonsense through their sales approach. And right now, you can get 2024 F-150 trucks with 3.9 APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back, with similar savings on over 900 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot. And while you're there, why don't you go ahead and stop at their Starliner Diner, pick up a nice, affordable meal as well.
Absolutely love it. Look, it is the holiday season, like we said, 9 days away from Arizona State kicking off the Peach Bowl. But if you're looking for college football action here in the Valley sooner rather than later, well, how about you go check out the Rate Bowl, because downtown Phoenix is going to be popping this holiday season. Get ready to huddle up at Chase Field for college football postseason action as the Rate Bowl kicks off on December 26th at 3:30 in the afternoon. You got Kansas State set to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Look, this is such a unique experience because this is a football game in a Major League Baseball park, making it one of the most unique and fun atmospheres in all of sports. Not to mention, it's also the only bowl game featuring a matchup between a Big Ten and Big 12 team. Of course, two of the toughest football conferences in the country. Game tickets, premium experiences, and reserved parking are all available. Get yours now at ratebowl.com.
Woo, chat.
Is chat going crazy right now?
Chat is at each other's throat right now. But you know what? I would expect nothing less. All the Texas fans in here, of course, they're going to come in here and say that there's no chance Arizona State wins. That's what everybody's been saying. It's what they've said the whole year. Yeah. We'll see.
Time will tell. Time will tell kind of how this thing obviously shakes out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to PHNX Sports as well. And look, as we're talking about this matchup between Arizona State, I know there are a ton of people really, really interested to see the star, Cam Skattebo, how he goes up against this Texas defense. I've already seen people in the chat saying that Arizona State's offensive line is too small. What I would say real quickly is if you guys, all those Texas fans that believe that, if you could just make sure you tweet that and then go ahead and at Cam Skattebo and Lee Fautanu, if you guys could do that just to make sure that they see that, I think that would be huge. You know, I think that would be awesome for you guys. Maybe you'll get some love out of it. But I can promise you that this is a team in Arizona State. If you're new to Sun Devil football, it's been counted out a number of times. National media has paraded a bunch of interesting BS out there about this team, confusing them with their rival down south. And this is a team that continues to prove people wrong. And at the heart of that is, of course, running back Cam Skattebo. Steve Sarkisian today on that press conference with Kenny Dillingham, he had a lot of love for Arizona State's number 4.
I think he's a really versatile player. I think when you first turn on Cam's tape, you're thinking you're just going to see Mike Allstat. You're just going to see this bruiser that's just running into the line of scrimmage and bouncing off of people. And then the more you watch him, you're like, man, this guy's got really good feet. This guy's got great contact balance. This guy, right when you think he's getting ready to run somebody over, he makes a miss. He uses a stiff arm. He's really good in the open field. He can run away from you. And then all of a sudden you're like, but wait a minute, this guy catches the ball really well out of the backfield. He's got, really good initial quickness after the catch to get vertical. And so he's a really versatile player. I was hoping he was going to be kind of a one-dimensional guy. When you just kind of watch Sports Center and different things but all of a sudden you start looking at the cut up of him and the explosive plays and how they're happening. His versatility is probably the thing that stands out to me the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's who he's been all season long, right? He's been a very versatile running back. He's a guy that has over 2,000 scrimmage yards this season. He was 5th in Heisman voting, and he was that for a reason, right? He's been the bell cow for Arizona State, not only on the ground, but he's been a huge part of what this team does with Sam Leavitt in the passing game as well. And to get, an SEC coach like Sark to give Scat his flowers, I think is huge. To bring up Mike Allstott, I think is another really interesting.
He not only brings up Mike Allstott, but then goes, but he's better. Okay, see, that's the thing, man. Listen, I 1,000,000% expected Texas fans to come parading in and talking about how Cam Skattebo has no chance. Like, it does not surprise me at all that is the conversation that's going around. But their whole argument is based off of, he's just not going to be strong enough. He's just not going to be strong enough to handle it, right? Cam Skattebo has so much more than just brute strength as to what makes him a fantastic running back. He has speed. He's shifty. He's incredibly smart. He has maybe the best balance in all of college football as well. And I love it. Keep saying he's going to get shut down. Keep saying that he has no chance. That's what everybody's been telling him. And the dude continues to prove everybody wrong. And that's fine. Just don't get angry when ASU goes in there and Cam Skattebo is able to do what you don't think he's able to do. And I'm not telling you this to change your mind. I'm telling you this so that you have that moment when you're halfway through the second quarter and you think back to right now and go, dang, I was kind of warned about this.
Yeah. I mean, every team has seen Cam Skattebo that's played Arizona State a number of times. You are not going to get a game where Scat only touches the ball 5, 6, 7, 8 times. This is a guy for Arizona State that is probably going to touch the ball 30 plus times. And that's, I think, part of how Arizona State has been able to beat teams. Yes, the SEC is a powerhouse when it comes to the trenches. I'll tell you what, though, the Big 12 is a powerhouse when it comes to running backs, and you are facing the cream of the crop when it comes to Cam Skattebo. There's some really big names. Arizona State's defense has seen every single one of them, and they've had the luxury of being able to practice against Cam Skattebo, every single practice so far this season. So Texas, I think, is going to be in, maybe not for a rude awakening, but I think it is going to take Texas fans back a little bit to see a guy like Cam Skattebo, who, if you are just going based off of purely Heisman rankings and Heisman votes, this is the second best running back next to Ashton Jeanty.
This is the best player in the game.
Jeanty. How do you pronounce it?
Jeanty.
It's just Ashton Jeanty. Whatever.
Okay.
I love you, man. It's so awesome.
I do it all the time.
I know, it's crazy.
I've done it for years.
Mispronouncing things is whatever. Like, we're just a bunch of little fanboy podcasters. It is what it is. But what's funny about you is you see a name like that is just always pronounced the same. Like, you'd see Johnson and say Joneson. And you're like, what the why?
Dude,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's what I do.
Yeah, listen, Cam Skattebo might be the best player on the field in the Peach Bowl. Right, and I think some Texas defensive players definitely have a chance. But Cam Skattebo,
you're gonna really piss people off with that comment.
I mean, I'm just gonna lean into it.
Well, here,
because why not?
What's the Heisman? What's the definition of the Heisman? It's the best player in college football.
Yeah, in college football.
He was higher than any Texas player.
By far.
Yeah,
he's
that guy.
He is that guy. And again, I'm not trying to change Texas fans' minds. I don't care. I don't care what you think about Cam Skattebo. I don't care what you think about Arizona State. I would venture to guess that you have watched collectively under 5 minutes of Arizona State football for the entire season. And you can rip on the Big 12 all that you want. That's fine. Your head coach is in there praising Arizona State and talking about ASU winning the Big 12 in year one when y'all did it, 5 times in 27 years? Keep on thinking that you're untouchable. Keep thinking that you're unbeatable.
I don't know why teams, I especially after what we saw in the first round, I don't know why SEC teams think they're just, the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'll be honest with you. I think Georgia's going to get run out of the building by Notre Dame. I genuinely believe that. I think that is a game that is probably going to have a larger margin of victory for Notre Dame than this one is going to be for whoever wins this game. And Tennessee got blown out by Ryan Day, one of the most overrated coaches in all of the Big Ten.
One of the worst postseason coaches ever.
Yeah. The SEC is not untouchable. I'm sorry. In this new age...
This is not the year to tote the SEC either.
No. In the new age of college football where the transfer portal exists, where people can pay players, the SEC is closer to the Big 10 and Big 12 than it's ever been before. So to sit out here and think that you're untouchable when you lost to Georgia twice, when you're a team that, in reality, I don't believe has a single win this season over a top 25 team, maybe just pump the brakes on we're going to be the national champions. It's cool. You didn't win your conference. It's fine. You played in the conference championship game. You're a great team. But to sit up here and, say this is a cakewalk, well, just tell me you haven't been paying attention all season.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sit here and say that Texas is a bad football team. I think Texas,
no, we're not doing that.
I think Texas is a great football team.
Yeah.
I think Texas can win the national championship. I'm not arguing anything against that. But if you do not think that Arizona State in so many different facets of the game is a better team than Clemson, right?
No, now Daddy Trill sounds like Boise State. He sounds like, oh my God, we barely lost though. Well, Boise State barely lost to Oregon too. So if you want to have that as your crowning achievement this season, then you might as well just set the confetti off now, because we don't worry about how close your losses were here. Beat a real team, and then we can have that conversation. I feel like that's fair.
You know what's going to happen when they lose?
When Texas loses?
Yeah, they're going to blame the fact that Bevo couldn't be there.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I'm bummed. I'm bummed he's not going to be there.
It is tough. It is tough. No Bevo would be nice. I would have liked to see you ride Bevo.
Yeah.
I think they would have killed you, but yeah, Texas fans.
Oh, well, I think the bull would have probably killed me first.
Yeah,
to be completely frank with you, have you seen that thing?
It's huge.
That thing is gigantic.
South Cam X just killed you.
Dude,
Called him Skattebo.
Skattebo is kind of funny. I can't lie. It's kind of funny.
I mean, there you go. I don't know. Splendid. Why are so many? Why are you all named Daddy?
Well,
no.
Why are there so many dads in the chat?
Splendid Daddy, formerly Sugar Daddy.
This is a great name, actually. Splendid Daddy, because he's taking the sugar out of it, so now it's manufactured.
Oh,
sweet.
Okay, that's good.
That's really good.
That's a great name. Great name.
Second team in by the third quarter. Okay.
I love that.
ASU ain't beat nobody. We have more ranked wins than you.
I don't want this show to just turn into us going back and forth with Texas fans.
That's
going to be the next week.
There will be an opportunity for all of that, but I do want to get back to the coaches and with all the Texas fans in here. I know for Arizona State fans, I promise we will get to Dilly. But Sark in Texas, they've been on a journey, right? All season, and for the last couple of years, is Texas quote unquote back? They haven't been for some time. But Steve Sarkisian was asked and had this to say just about being proud that his team is finally back in this moment.
I'm definitely proud of our guys. Like I said, it's been a long season, and having gone to the college football playoff a year ago and literally being inches away from playing for a national championship and knowing what the goals were coming into this season, and to be back in the college football playoff when 4 of us were in the CFP a year ago, but we were the only team that made it back into the college football playoff in an expanded version of 12 teams. There's a lot to be proud of, but mostly I'm proud of our veterans, our leaders, our seniors, because those guys went through 5 and 7 in year one. They went through 8 and 5 in year two. And they didn't jump ship. They hung in there with us. They believed in what we were doing. Going into last year and not finishing it the way we would have liked. And then to get back again this year, I just think, like I said, it's a credit to the leadership on our team. This is a heck of a challenge. Like you're not a conference championship team, especially in the Big 12. I want to remind everybody, like, we were in that Big 12, 27 years? We won 4, okay? This is their first year in, and they won a Big 12 championship. Like, it's a really hard thing to do. They're playing with a ton of confidence right now. The last 2 months, I think they're playing as good as football as anybody in the country, and that's a credit to Coach Dillingham and their staff and in building their team as they've gotten better and better as the years gone on, and it's clear as day to see when you watch the tape. So it's a heck of a challenge for us.
Now, I'm debating who to believe. Do I believe the head coach of Texas football, or do I believe
Daddy Trill?
Splenda Daddy, a.k.a. formerly known as Sugar Daddy, as far as football? We've had, listen, we have no ill will toward Texas. No, but multiple high-level football analysts, including your head coach, is saying nobody's been playing better football than Arizona State, shouting out what they've been able to do in the Big 12, right? Like, it's been a journey for Texas, and you guys are still on that journey. It's been a journey for us as well. But to sit here and discredit everything that Arizona State is doing, fine. Continue to do it. That's okay. Like, I don't expect anything better of you guys. But just understand that you are setting yourself up. You are getting in your own way, because when you either A, don't play like you expect to play and don't dominate, or B, God, worst case scenario for you, lose, you are setting yourselves up to be the biggest clown show in all of college football. So keep it up.
Well, there are clowns at the rodeos with bulls and stuff. So
it's true.
But those rodeo clowns are awesome.
They're dogs.
They rip. Yeah, of course.
That's a good, Splendid Daddy's a good rodeo clown name.
Yeah, it is. Would you be able to do that? I don't think you'd be able to do
rodeo
that.
Clown? I didn't say I would be able to do that.
I know, but I don't know. You kind of seemed like you were doubting rodeo clowns.
I mean, they're great at what they do. Yeah. I think it's a very niche job, as is this. But, sure. Cap off to the rodeo clowns. I guess that's what it is.
I want every Texas fan to stick here until January 1st. I don't want you all to go anywhere. I want you to stay around.
Yeah, stick around for January 1st. I'm going to keep my tongue. I'm just going to keep it to myself. Just know that I wanted to say something, You know what? You know exactly.
I know exactly what you wanted to say.
They're busy.
I bet they were there.
Yeah, they're busy on other days. But on that note, we'll see you on the other side of this quick break. Guys, I am not even joking you when I tell you that this morning I stopped at my favorite establishment, Circle K. It's America's thirst shop. It's Totri's thirst shop. It's everybody here at PHNX's thirst shop. And look, it's not just about all of the different options they have for snacks and for drinks, but specifically, I love the fact that they help you guys save money every single day with their free membership program, Inner Circle. It's super, super easy to download. All you have to do, go to the App Store, download it, enter your email and phone number to be fully enrolled. And then after that, all you need is your phone number to start cashing in on those deals. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. And then after that, you guys can save 3 cents per gallon every single day. Plus, enjoy your member exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members, like, you can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
In a lot of different ways, it is a new era in the Valley of the Sun. And as we merge tradition with history, with innovation, pageantry, and fun, it's the 53rd annual Verbo Fiesta Bowl Parade, presented by, of course, Lerner and Rowe. This event is free to the public and family friendly, and we are proud to announce that it is back here in the state of Arizona on December 28th. It's all the things: colorful floats, balloons, community groups, marching bands, all going through Central Phoenix. Plus, you'll see big name and big play Grand Marshal, ASU and Mesa wrestling champion Anthony Robles, subject to the upcoming movie Unstoppable. Join us in person on Saturday, December 28th at 10 a.m., or you can watch it all happen live on AZ Family 3 TV. For the parade route and for more information, check fiestabowl.org/parade.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, if you're listening on audio, make sure you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Which one are we laughing at?
Hunter Zona.
Hunter Zona said, "That's it. I'm going to say it. I forgot the Alamo and I don't care."
That's great.
I fail to remember it every day.
Every day?
Yep. I did see it. It's awesome.
You saw the Alamo?
Yep. Very cool.
Why do we care about Colorado and BYU?
Yeah. That's the real Big 12 championship game, if you're missing out on that. But look, for everybody in the chat, we are going to...
better than Austin. Excuse me, sorry.
We're going to get back
Austin's
to
cool.
the sound here in a second from Sark and from KD. But all I've seen from a lot of people, Texas fans specifically, is that Arizona State wouldn't survive the really grueling schedule that Texas had. So let's go through real quickly that real grueling, just schedule that
maybe the hardest schedule
that
in the
only
country.
world beaters could actually get out of. So you started with perennial powerhouse Colorado State. You were at home for that one. So again, Colorado State's Colorado State. You beat number 10 Michigan at that point on the road. Being able to beat Michigan on the road is something I think that is fairly impressive. It's something Ryan Day has never been able to do. But this is a Michigan team that I don't believe finished the season in the top 25. You beat them 31-12. Congratulations.
Michigan was 7-5, by the way. That was 7th in the Big Ten.
And then you beat UTSA, another just real dominant team. Then you played University of Louisiana Monroe.
No way ASU wins that one.
You beat Mississippi State.
No way ASU beats Mississippi State.
Did that too. Then you beat Oklahoma. Did Oklahoma finish ranked? Does anybody know?
No. Oklahoma ended the season 6-6.
There you go.
13th in the SEC.
Then you lost to Georgia, which I know a lot of you Texas fans want to hang your hat on that one.
Only 15 points.
Then you squeaked out a dub over Vanderbilt. Congratulations. You beat Florida.
And Vanderbilt ranked at the time 25th, ended up 6-6.
You beat Florida. What was Florida's final record?
One sec. I'm clicking away because I have to go prove that all these teams are frauds. Florida, I do not believe, had a good record. They were 4-5 when they played.
They had a really tough schedule.
They ended up 8-5. They were 4-5 when they played. Texas.
You beat Arkansas by 10. You beat Kentucky by 17. You beat Texas A&M, which I would say that's probably your best win of the year. You beat them by 10. Only scored 17 points. And then you lost again, which congratulations. You can hang your hat on a second loss to Georgia at that point. So find me the just absolute gauntlet of a schedule you went through, because it wasn't there. It wasn't there by any means. Most of the SEC has a cakewalk, right? Like, that's just what it is.
Also, I've seen this many times in the chat. The Mississippi State game wasn't close.
That's scoreboard watching.
They were up 27-3 at halftime.
That's scoreboard watching.
People were talking about ASU barely beating. Yeah.
The Texas Tech loss. They didn't have their quarterback. So.
Yeah. So, but people don't know that. So it is what it is. Your schedule wasn't that crazy. And if you want to hang your hat on that, like, again, you beat Clemson. I'll give you that. That was a good win. You beat Clemson at home. Clemson was a banged up ACC team.
Arizona State is a better team than Clemson.
Yes.
I have no
Arizona
issue
State would win the ACC. Like, that's fine. We're just here to this is just facts. It's facts. It is what it is. Another fact, though, when you look at these two teams, Arizona State and Texas, is you got a team in Texas that takes the football away a lot, and a team in Arizona State that doesn't turn the football over a lot. These are two teams,
the best at those individual things.
Two teams that pride themselves on one side taking care of the football and the other one creating extra opportunities for their offense. This is what Kenny Dillingham and Steve Sarkisian had to say just on turnover differential.
All starts with pass rush. They get pass rush. They get tip balls. Their defensive line gets in throwing windows. And then their back end, obviously the versatility, they'll drop 8. They'll rush 4. They'll rush 5. They'll mix it up a little bit. And then the corners are sticky. I mean, they're sticky players. There's not much space. It sounds like a boring answer, but they're good. They're coached well. And when the ball hits their hands, they catch it. And then the pass rush, like I said, everything starts with impacting the quarterback. When you talk about turnovers and they impact the quarterback enough and they get enough tip balls to create some like bonus turnovers, I would call them, which are the tip ball turnovers. Those are like additionals. So, they're just well coached. They're where they're supposed to be. They're talented. And then those guys play hard, so they're around the football. And that's a good combination to create takeaways.
I think on the flip side, when you look at it, I think when you have a runner carry it as much as Cam carries it, and to think as a team, they only have 3 fumbles on the year. And so to me, that tells me they practice, ball security, that you just don't not fumble the ball. You work at not fumbling the ball. You work on stumble bum. You work on, 2 hands on the ball and contact, not switching the ball. The ball's in their outside arm. That's fundamentally right when they carry the ball. And the second thing, I think the quarterback makes good decisions. I think he has only had 5 interceptions on the year, so he's making good decisions. They've got a great plan. I know, obviously, with Kenny's background and Marcus Arroyo, the OC, those guys are really good football coaches. And so they put together good schemes, and you can tell the quarterback's really well coached up. He makes good decisions. There's not forcing throws. He trusts his guys to go make their plays. But at the end of the day, if you're holding on to the ball and then your quarterback makes good decisions, that's about all you can ask for. And they're getting that.
I think trenches is the number one thing that's going to determine this game. I think number 2 is who wins the turnover battle, right? Because you have 2 very opposed teams as far as one of ASU's greatest strengths is completely like against one of Texas's biggest strengths as a defense. And if ASU is able to not turn the ball over and become even or lose slightly in the trenches, but put up a good fight, I think that's a really good game plan for ASU to continue to do everything else they have to do to win. But if Texas is able to turn the ball over, become suffocating on defense, it's going to get ugly for ASU.
Yeah, I think, that's not just new to this. I think, right, that is the part of every single game, right? When you are able to take the football away from your opposition, your chances of winning go through the roof. And for Arizona State, this is a team that is, when they do force turnovers, they do it in bunches, right? You look back to that Iowa State game, fumbles, interceptions, like this team feeds off of that, right? And they also feed off of, on the offensive side, Cam Skattebo and Sam Leavitt, their ability to march down the field and not turn that football over. So being able to do that, I think it's not just kind of to Texas's side here. I think if either one of these teams is able to force a turnover and take away the football, which Quinn Ewers has been pretty prone to turning the football over the last few weeks of the season. Now, mind you, they have played the toughest part of their schedule at the tail end of the season. Then I think that obviously bodes well for Arizona State and just the model that Kenny Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo have kind of built this offense on, right? We are going to run the football and we are going to make the game shorter. What do I mean by that? Well, we are going to own the time of possession and we're going to own the middle 8. right? So when you own the time of possession, when you're able to run the football effectively, and when you own the middle eight, right, the last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half, it makes things really, really difficult on your opposition to try and control the pace of the game, and that's what Arizona State does. Texas is this high-flying team that they can run at you. They love the play-action pass. Their defense is big. They're aggressive. Well, how do you slow down a high-powered offense? You keep them on the sidelines, right? And that's what ASU has done to offenses all year long. You look at BYU's passing game, one of the best passing attacks in college football at that point in the season when the Sun Devils played them. They were non-existent in the first half. Well, how do you beat a team like Kansas State? Right, a team that not only runs the football well, but they've got Avery Johnson at quarterback. Well, you keep them on the sidelines and you make those drives really, really quick defensively for your guys, and that's what they were able to do, and they've been able to really get in a groove as of late over the last 5 games of the season, being able to own the time of possession, being able to create those extra opportunities, and then, of course, they have the boogeyman in Cam Skattebo. It's been a real poison to opposing teams.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know we're trying not to get distracted by the chat too much, but some of it's just too juicy because it's like they clearly don't know what's going on over here. Yeah. Right, and that's fine. I don't expect Texas fans to. But James says ASU will be another 30 years before you're relevant again after an SEC team takes your coach. You do know you're a 4th-tier program. Dude.
Who's a 4th-tier program?
Apparently we are. And apparently Kenny Dillingham's
Conference
leaving.
champion?
Yeah. Apparently Kenny Dillingham's leaving, which is news to Kenny Dillingham and news to every single person who actually follows this team and knows what's going on. Rex also says he hears a lot of ifs and hopes. When you talk about a game and what's going to happen.
That hasn't been played, that's all it is.
It's a lot of ifs and what's going on. And again, we are not disrespecting Texas here. Like, ASU needs to play a dang near perfect football game to beat Texas. Like, I'm not
that was my tweet, literally word for word.
Right. I didn't know that. But I'm not shying away from that. Like, y'all, I don't know. I mean, I get it. Sometimes when you're the favorite, you have to, like, find motivation somewhere. But I can't tell if y'all just, like, it's genuinely, like, not clicking. Because we say that you're a good team. We're talking about a game that's going to happen, and you clearly don't know about anything that's going on over here, so it's fine.
If Texas was a good state, I'd consider to move there.
Yeah, I would too. But it's, it's mid, right? Can we agree on that? Texas
except for our friends in Dallas.
Yeah. Speaking of, GM Ben with 199 Super Chat says, defend the Big 12. Saw Bevo's horns off. Go ASU.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Give me the saw.
I will.
Give me the saw.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you would die.
I would be killed.
That ball would kill you.
Hunter says, hold your horses, Erik. I'm definitely disrespecting Texas.
Oh, man. It's something. We got another super chat from Jacob. A 4th-tier team who got a bye over you. Yeah, one team's a conference champion. One team is, a loser. You decide who that is.
Okay.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
No,
it's the truth.
We're both in the same position now. They're not a loser.
No, they lost their conference championship.
That does not make you a loser.
They lost. It does. It literally, if you're not the winner, what are you? You're a loser. That's what you are. You lost. You're a loser. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I don't know if something didn't compute in the 3rd grade when they went over what winners and losers are. But where I'm from, if you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you're a loser. And there's only one of them.
Since we're piling it on, I'm just going to say it. I don't like barbecue.
In general?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That might be a bad take, though.
That's just a bad take.
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't personally enjoy it. So
that's your own right.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say that.
They don't like barbecue.
I don't like sweet meat. Like I don't like teriyaki. Like it's just weird to me. I'm not a big,
you don't like sweet meat?
No, not a big sweet meat guy.
How you like your meat?
Smoked.
But not how you sweet. Like your meat?
Next question.
I also like, I do love fried okra. I like all of the things that come with barbecue, just not the meat.
Like mac and cheese.
Yeah. Cornbread.
Mac salad. I've been getting real into mac salad over the last couple months.
Nice.
I've always been a potato salad guy, but mac salad lately, man. Let me know. I mean, you're from Texas. Like, you let me know. What's your favorite thing to go with your barbecue?
Drop all your fixins in the chat.
Yeah, drop your fixins in the chat.
Instead of being mean, let's drop your fixins.
Just wild comments.
Also, apparently, Texas barbecue isn't sweet. Shane, you silly boy. That's according to Daddy Trill Bedf.
Well, I mean, he is the deli man, so if anyone's going to know.
If anybody knows about meat,
it's Shane. It's Shane Diefenbach. He knows about the meats.
That man knows his meat.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I know my way around some meat.
Streets have been saying.
Look, Deli Man, he knows about the meats, and our buddy Kenny Dillingham, he knows about that Texas offense.
I was going to wonder if you were going to like rhyme.
This is what he had to say about Quinn Ewers, Jaydon Blue in that Longhorn offense.
Obviously, you got to stop the run. They're a run, play action, screen team on base downs. So you got to be able to stop the run and make them become a drop back team on early downs. And if you can do that, you can get them kind of outside of, the element or the comfort zone of where they want to be. But that's a lot easier said than done. Like I said, Sark on the flip side is, arguably one of the top 3-5, the best play caller in college football. So this is not just a good team from a talent perspective. This is a good team that's well coached on both sides of the ball. And you're not just going to be able to win every snap and get into really, really positive calls all game. They're going to have advantage calls. We're going to have advantage calls. And it's going to come down to the guys in the field and winning the margins.
Right? You got to win the margins. And this is a team, like Dilly said, in Texas, that they have their same recipe for success the way Arizona State does, right? They have a really, really strong ground game with, Quintravion Wisner. Did I pronounce that correctly? And then, of course, Jaydon Blue. Just two really, really powerful backs, both with speed. And to be able to have that offensive lineman, the offensive line that Texas has, obviously with the size, the power, the experience that they have, a lot of NFL caliber offensive linemen there. That is going to be a big part of this game. A big part of winning for Arizona State is you're going to have to do something that, opposing teams to the SEC don't do often, and that is win the LOS, win the line of scrimmage, win the trenches. And if Arizona State wins that, then they're going to win this game. Now, it's way easier said than done. I'm sure we're going to get a just laundry list of comments from Texas fans saying how small Arizona State is, and how, they're Texas sloppy seconds, like somebody said earlier. But the recipe for success is pretty clear in this one, and so is stopping Texas's offense.
Sure, yeah. I mean, again, it's not that it's easy, but I think there is a clear path. And in fact, in the press conference earlier today, Kenny was asked if he felt like ASU had the horses to beat a team that was favored to win the national championship, that, is by a lot of metrics still the favorite left in this.
They are the favorite, yeah.
And in a 14-point favor going into January 1st. And we are going to play that right after our final break.
I love college football more than everybody in the chat. I'm just going to say that.
Splendid
right
Daddy
now.
might have something to say
Splendid
about
Daddy
that.
might have something to say about it. But if you are here in the Valley and you're not able to make it to any of the outside of Arizona bowls, well, guess what? You got your very own college football quarterfinal game taking place here in the Valley. The Verbo Fiesta Bowl kicks off December 31st at 5:30 p.m. Boise State, powered by one of the nation's leading ground games, takes on Penn State's just
who leads that ground game,
defense.
Totri?
Taunting defense. Ashton leads.
Ashton.
He leads it. It's not. It's Janty. Come early for the New Year's Fiesta Bowl. It starts at 2:30 p.m. with a FanFest pregame party. It's a block party leading into the big game. Band performances, cheerleaders, fun games, food, beverages, and more. Guys, join us for the first ever college football playoff quarterfinal at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Buy your tickets, reserve parking, and premium experiences at fiestabowl.org/tickets, and Viva Fiesta.
Some of our comments are not tasteful, but you know what is tasty?
Tell
that,
me.
Of course, is Neutral, who's keeping it tasty in Tempe. It's a public service announcement for all the hard seltzer lovers out there. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived, and it's made with simple ingredients: vodka, seltzer, and real juice, and it tastes good, like real.
Like,
good. It's not just another artificial tasting seltzer that you're like, I can taste the alcohol.
Is that what you do?
I mean, when I'm tasting another artificial seltzer, which I'll never do ever again, that was the face that I made, but not anymore, because Neutral has so many different flavors as well. Your basics: pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, but you're a cran-apple guy. I, of course, love cran-apple. It's my second favorite, but the number one is the strawberry lemonade, and nothing goes better with a peach bowl than Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Neutral is a flavored vodka in carbonation. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, why'd you say it like
Just
that?
to spread the time out. St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, boy. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Man.
Also, head over to the locker. Head over to the PHNX locker. Get your hands on this Arizona State merch if you are a Sun Devil fan. We've got mugs and glasses now.
Mugs that aren't going to give you the wrong logo.
Yes, we promise. Also,
Tell you that.
get this. Activate the Valley. Get that t-shirt over at the locker. It is my personal favorite that we have in the locker right now. But we have a number of Arizona State shirts and merch that you guys can go get your hands on. This is definitely the time to go get your hands on it, man.
PHNXlocker.com.
Do it.
Do it now.
Get in on the action. Well, maybe wait till the end of the show. Open another tab. Do it right now.
You can multitask. It is
Totri
almost
can.
2025.
I can multitask.
Not well.
Yeah, not well. Not when it comes to certain things, like pronouncing names.
Does ASU have what it takes? Right? Does ASU have the horses? Can they win this game? Well, this is what their head coach had to say.
Obviously, our guys are excited to go be able to compete versus one of the Blue Bloods and compete versus one of the best teams in the country. And like I said at the start, you turn on the tape and the way they've recruited, the way they've coached this football team, this is a team that, preseason could win a national championship. Last year could have won a national championship. This year can win a national championship. And all you want to do is the opportunity to compete versus the best. And I think any competitor, and regardless of what you do, you want a chance to compete versus the very best. And if you don't want to do that, then you're not a competitor. And I think that's what our guys are excited for, is that opportunity. And, I'm excited to see our guys get out there and be able to do just that. We're 14-point underdogs, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. We're playing a really, really good football team. But at the same token, I'm excited to see our guys go compete as hard as they can compete for as long as they can compete, play smart and tough football, take care of the ball, and be about the team for 60 minutes and see what happens.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Really?
I'm really excited.
I'm not. I'm just like,
we're
gonna lose.
Oh, yeah, might as well. Why even play the game?
Yeah, honestly,
why even play the
just
game?
Just give
at
them
this
the
point?
national championship
Seriously
now, right?
There's no school
they
that's
played
been
such
better.
a hard schedule. They won their conference. All
no
of those
school
things.
is better at capitalizing on their expectations and fulfilling and overachieving to what they're supposed to do than Texas.
And
so
Steve
we might as
Sarkisian has never been. He's always done just really great.
Perfect track record as a coach, especially against ASU.
Yeah,
I don't think the guy's ever struggled against ASU.
I don't think he was left on a tarmac or anything.
Should we just I don't know, just get to the post-game press conference?
You want to just start the post-game now?
Might as well just say Texas won by 14, right? Because, that's all that's going to happen.
Yeah. At that point.
Why even do a show?
Yeah, I'm out.
Very good. Oh, okay. All right. Well, so this is good podcasting.
We're back.
Hey.
We're back. We're talking about 2025 now,
In case some Texas fans not understanding, that was sarcasm.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. Sometimes it doesn't come across on this.
God, can you all make a promise to me?
Who's
all
you
the
all?
Texas fans that are in here right now? If we beat you, you have to be in our post-game show.
Are you participating? Are you flying out to Atlanta for the team? Are you going to beat them? If ASU beats Texas.
All right, dude.
Splendid
Really?
Daddy says, LOL,
Really?
only 14. Wishful thinking, boys. That's what the books say. The books say 14. The books also said that this team was going to suck. And they won 11 games. They won the conference that you guys skedaddled out of. So I just don't, again, I don't know where all of the hatred is coming from.
I know where it comes from. It's because there's a little level of insecurity of we have to prove it, right? Of we haven't won the national championship. Texas football hasn't been quote unquote back.
Didn't win a conference this year.
Didn't win the conference this year. And they want so badly just to be those guys. Yeah. Right. And so they have to talk to them. And they might be, but they're talking about it beforehand like there's zero chance that they've ever been let down before. Like, come on, be honest with me, Texas fans.
Again, this is a good team in Texas.
Yes.
This is a team that is obviously a team that will compete at the highest level for a very long time. This is a team that is a national championship caliber team. But Arizona State, I believe, is the same. I think this is a team with Kenny Dillingham is a team that you don't want to play right now. If you are in this college football playoff, this is not like SMU. This is not like Clemson. This is not like Indiana. These are not teams that just snuck in, right? This team won their conference. They finished the season beating ranked opponent after ranked opponent. And yes, some of these teams didn't finish the year in the top 25, right? For the college football playoff rankings, they didn't finish in the AP top 25. They beat Kansas State on the road. That was a team that was ranked at the time. They beat BYU at home. That was a team that was ranked at the time. BYU ranked as high as number 6 in the country at one point, and they beat Iowa State, another ranked team, to win the conference. And they didn't just beat Iowa State.
They beat the hell out of them.
Beat the brakes off of the Cyclones. Okay? So, again, we're here showing a little respect. If you don't want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't expect it.
Throw all the disrespect you'd like at all times, especially when we get back here on Thursday. But that's just the truth.
One thing we'll own up to is if the Texas fans are right, we're still doing a post-game show.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Be here either way. If y'all
here.
dominate, if y'all go in here and do what you're saying you're going to do, then I will sit there in the post-game show and admit that you were right. I ain't scared of it. Just remember, be there at the
Bring the same
post-game
energy.
show.
Bring the same energy. That's all I ask.
Clemson snuck in because they won their conference on a last-second field goal.
Clemson was a 3-loss team, were they not?
Yeah, they won the conference.
They snuck in.
They were admitted. They got automatic bid.
Literally snuck in by a last-second field goal. That is the definition of sneaking in.
Yeah.
So
they won. So they were guaranteed to be in.
Try again. I don't want to raise my voice. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. That's on me. It's a holiday season. I'm sorry.
Keith Abney's back. Let's not be angry.
You're right. Keith Abney is back. What a good guy. Love that guy. Such a solid corner. The only time that I can think that we would be going live over the next 2 days is if a couple branches fall. But if other than that, you won't see us till Thursday.
If they Merry Christmas this fan base, I'll be there no matter what.
I mean, I'm already working on Christmas, so
that'll be the only time unless something very dramatic happens. But here's to hoping the branches fall in Tempe.
Man, how awesome would that be?
It'd be pretty cool.
And I'm already thrilled with everything that's going on.
I believe it is between Arizona State and Georgia at this point. And I think Arizona State has a slight advantage because Zion could actually get playing time here in the back end versus Georgia. I don't know exactly what their secondary looks like going into next season. But yeah. That's kind of where things are at for your Arizona State Sun Devils. Shane, we've been going back and forth kind of. You've been chiming in a little bit. I want to know just what you think real quickly about this matchup, and if everybody in the chat from the Texas perspective is 100% right. Maybe we're blind.
Is Isaiah Bond playing? Do we know that? Chat. I know the Texas fans will know. Sorry, I'm not informed because he did not play in that last game.
Didn't play against Clemson. But
yeah, we'll see. That's a big factor. I think the spread is a little bit ridiculous. I think 14.5 points or 13.5, whatever it is pretty crazy. I'd probably set it at 7 or 8. Texas is the better team on paper. For
on
sure.
paper, they're 100% the better team.
They should be favored. Yeah.
ASU is like the hottest team in college football, and I know they haven't played for 3 weeks, and we'll see how they respond to that. But Kenny Dillingham is not the type of person that won't have his team ready. I think the matchup is what it is. I don't think either team has a significant advantage in terms of scheme, in terms of personnel. Talent-wise, they have the advantage, but in terms of a weak run game against a strong run defense, whatever. And I know you can point at the numbers and say Texas has a bad run defense and blah, 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 Skattebo feast. But I don't think there's a crazy tipping point either way. I think this is a good game. If Isaiah Bond suits up, I think that's an even bigger swing. I think he's worth 1 or 2 points.
Sounds like a lot of people are saying no.
Yeah, they're saying doubted. He's doubtful.
Wow, Jermaine Lowell's on this team.
Wow. That's
former
crazy.
Arizona State Sun Devil.
Isn't it Lole?
Sure. Dude, I don't know. Okay.
If I had to give a score prediction, 31-27 Texas.
31-27. So just an absolute bludgeon.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We'll hold on to our score predictions.
Yeah, you and I will hold on to ours.
But I'm here, so.
Yeah.
That's fair. You have any final thoughts before we get out of here for the holiday season?
I think Arizona State has the better coach. I think they have the better coaching staff. Best offensive coordinator in college football. I think they have one of, if not the best head coaches in college football as well. And I know that they haven't played in a long time, but I actually think that's going to play into their advantage with the amount of prep that they're able to do and how ferociously they are attacking practice. So I'm excited. This is going to be a fun 9 days. I encourage every single Texas fan to put some notifications on, subscribe to this YouTube channel so you know when we go live. Come in here and talk all the trash. Because if you're right, then congrats, stand on business. But if you're wrong, y'all better be here for the post game afterwards, no matter what.
Yeah, Rex St. Charles saying, did you just say Texas has a bad run defense? Talking about Dillingham. Yeah, I think Dillingham misspoke. Texas has a really good run defense.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That was supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, 100%. And just again, for everybody in the chat, because I've seen this a number of times, just about how, Texas is so much bigger than Arizona State. So I've got the sizes of your top 3 defensive linemen in terms of stats. You've got Alfred Collins, who's 6'5",
and real quick, if you're watching on TV, party always continues at gophnx.com.
Alfred Collins, 6'5", 320. Vernon Broughton, 6'4", 305. Jermaine Lole, 6'3", 315. Arizona State offensive linemen. Mind you, these are all starters that I'm going to list here for you. Max Cianat, how do you pronounce his last name, dude? Ianachor. He sounds like a Pokemon. 6'5", 315. Not a small man. Ben Coleman, your starting guard, 6'3", 325. Let's see. Emmett Boley, 6'6", 310, who also rotates in with Josh Atkins, 6'3", 320. He's about your smallest offensive lineman that you are going to see. Kyle Scott, 6'4", 315. I don't know where you're getting this misconception that these guys are tiny.
It's SEC bias.
They're literally like an inch taller or shorter, and maybe there's a 10-pound difference either way.
And I totally get and you're going to be upset with the comparison I'm about to give out there. You are so much better than Mississippi State. But when we went and played Mississippi State, Mississippi State fans were in our chat saying, y'all don't know about SEC size. Y'all don't know about, you're not going to be able to handle, you're not going to be able to be physical. They got dominated. And Mississippi State got dominated in the trenches, dominated by Arizona State. And I get it. They are not nearly as good of a team. I'm not trying to draw a comparison. I'm just saying what you're saying, I have heard before about this team. So we'll see. We'll see.
Should be fun. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We will see you, of course, on Thursday. In the meantime, though, give us a follow on social. Let the banter continue at PHNX _Sun Devils. If you've got a problem with my mustache, at Anthony Totri is where you can find me. If you got a problem with my passenger princess here, that is, of course, at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. And all roads lead to the deli man, okay, who likes his meat brisk. Okay, you can follow him.
No sweet meat for the deli man.
Brisk?
Brisk is crazy.
Yeah, brisk.
What does that even mean?
I don't know,
brisk meat?
You can follow the deli man at Shane Deef.
Just ready to read all the receipts as always.
And I hope everybody here, and I mean everybody, has a very, very happy holiday season, and we will see you guys on Thursday. But in the meantime, go Devils, and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.